All right, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 1.1 of Hangar 18. We actually did it in an episode previous, but due to the stupid restrictions of YouTube, it got kind of fucked up. So now we're doing another episode, and this time we have our full complement of cast and crew, including me. You can call me either, the page that I run, Thundercracker, or you can call me Dan. And there you go. You can listen to my awesome, insightful hatefulness. And also, we have here with us the proprietor of Nova Storm.
Hello, welcome to episode 1.1, the reboot.
And we also have with us Hot Link, the weapons specialist.
Actually, we're Deathclock today. Yeah.
Oh, they're going to be Deathclock today? All right.
We're Deathclock today, yeah.
All right. He suffers kind of from, what's the word I'm looking for? Multiple personalities.
Multiple personalities.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure,
Totally that.
I thought that was like, a gift. Yeah, that's like talent.
or talent, air quotes, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's
all right, so anyway, what we're going to do here is we'll run through some stuff. First off, we're going to do some heavy metal news. And then we're going to do some reviews of some songs, and then we'll talk about some stories from shows that we have been to. Not all together, but separately, I guess. So the fuck. All right, so anyway, the concept...
That does have to happen if we ever do like a live bit, though. Oh, hi, I'm Tony. I'm also the voices of my Deathclock page. I should probably post a link to that sometime. But we actually need to, go on a road one time and just meet up and just go to a fucking show.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, what I was gonna say is since YouTube is stupid and won't let us share the actual music with you as we're doing the podcast, which is inexplicably stupid to me.
Dude, I think Charles bet YouTube and he's getting all these stupid regulations on it. Yeah, the fucking robot just doesn't let anything happen. It really doesn't.
That's possible, but anyways, if you want to listen to the songs, they are all in a playlist on my Facebook or on my YouTube page. So they're all in there, and they have the same title essentially as this podcast. So the songs we're going to be talking about are there. Anyway, first off, we're going to start off with some heavy metal news. And I'll go ahead and share my tidbit of news first. And it's not even necessarily heavy metal so much as it is rock and roll news. The lead singer of AC/DC, you might have heard, had to basically quit the band because of his hearing problems.
It's a sad day.
Yeah, it was a sad day because, I'm not even a huge rock and roll fan so much as I am a heavy metal fan, but, I do like the good rock and roll bands, and AC/DC I would definitely put up there as one of the, all-time best rock and roll bands.
Yeah.
And, he what happened was he essentially lost his hearing, right? But my news is, a glimmer of hope is, I guess he is doing some kind of trial for a new technology of hearing aid. And he says he's used it and it works and he can hear and it's great. The only problem is it's the size of a fist right now. So so they have to do a little bit more research and shrink it down to where you could actually wear it without looking like you had two fucking heads.
I don't know. I think a Guado look would be.
Yeah, Guado look.
It came out of like Lobot. Looked like Lobot. Star Wars.
Right. Exactly. The announcer guy for the pod race, right?
Yeah, totally.
All right, so that's my bit of news. I thought that was pretty interesting, but I don't think an AC/DC reunion is ever going to happen because their bassist left too, and I just they've had some other issues.
From what I understand, he didn't quit. He was let go.
Yeah, he just got kind of forced out, right?
Yeah,
because some other issues happened. So
yeah.
We won't talk about that. That's a little depressing. So anyway, that's my bit of heavy metal news and rock and roll news. Let's go with our correspondent, Nova Storm.
Okay. Well, I'm actually glad you mentioned AC/DC because they are part of my news. Apparently, scientists have recently discovered that sharks enjoy listening to heavy metal.
Whoa, that's brutal.
So, now, I'm going to preface this by saying that the only band that they specifically mentioned was, in fact, AC/DC, that I don't necessarily consider heavy metal. But they did mention heavy metal.
What about Area Blue?
Well, they did mention heavy metal in general.
Oh, okay.
So, but the only specific band that they actually named was AC/DC. But they said since sharks don't have ears, they don't actually listen to it, but they pick up on the low frequencies, I guess, of the vibrations.
Yeah,
they
the vibration. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually stick like the
tones.
speakers. Right, they put the speakers in water, and they say they find that heavy metal seems to actually calm them, and they actually tend to be more curious and interested in it. So I thought that was interesting.
That is pretty interesting. And as far as animals go, like sharks are like one of my favorites because they're like not pussies.
Yeah,
They're
they
not
said
like,
that
They're like the predators of the sea. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, they said they put the they went out to someplace, I forget where it was now, and like some of the locals were doing it, and they had like speakers in the water, and they'd pump music through it, and they're like, "What are y'all doing?" And they explained that it affects the sharks somehow, so they started studying that, and sure enough, they tend to really like AC/DC apparently, but also just heavy metal in general.
you know, that'd be awesome if like somebody was in a pink boat and they played Sink the Pink and the sharks fucking attacked the boat.
Yes.
Just saying that would be pretty cool, I think. All right,
Yes.
so anyway,
Brutal.
all right, so okay, thanks, No, for that. That was pretty good. And let's go with Death Clock. Go ahead with your heavy metal
Okay,
movie.
well, I mean, I gotta add to your point there, Thundercracker. Did you know who replaced the lead singer for AC/DC?
Yeah, you're not gonna believe this. It's actually pretty fucking lame.
Yeah, Axl Rose, right?
Yeah, fucking lame.
Dude, totally. Like, why actual fucking Rose about people, you know? Okay, now for some real news.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Axl Rose either.
Now for some real news. Meshuggah, which is coincidentally one of the songs that we are going to be reviewing today, is by Meshuggah. Just released Clockwork, the official video for it. I just got through watching it. It is synchronized very well with the music. I fucking loved it. Another point to note is Trent Reznor has announced that he will be working on a new Nine Inch Nails album. It is not set in stone as to any release date at the given time, but fingers crossed.
Didn't he do that one move or that one video one time where it was like real close up on his face and you can see the pores in his face?
Yeah.
That was bizarre as fuck.
Dude, that was like, you know, like fucking Frank Zappa bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, remember that claymation video that like where all that freaky shit happened?
I don't know if I'd go as far as Frank Zappa bizarre, but that was pretty bizarre.
Dude, I was in ass shit one time when I watched that video and I totally did not regret it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into our first song that we're going to review here, and it is a song by a band called Iced Earth, and they were formed in Tampa, Florida, mainly by their driving force, which is the guitarist John Schaefer, and from their Dark Saga album, which is their fourth album, and the song is called A Question of Heaven. And just a couple things I noticed about it is, number one, they had this like acoustic opening, which I thought was pretty cool. And just, you know, I'd never really heard this album before, but I was looking around online, and apparently it's like a whole concept album of Spawn.
Yes.
In fact,
Yes.
Yes.
The official soundtrack, one of the official soundtracks for Spawn. Yes.
Yeah, and in fact, the cover of the album has pretty neat Spawn art on it. So my only real complaint about this song is it was 7.5 minutes long. I thought they could have like cut it down to about 5 and it would have been just fine.
Most of these emotional songs are always too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they slowed down, did the acoustic, and then sped back up. So
Here's another point though. This song is actually it's the last song on the album. It's actually part of a trilogy. There's the 2 songs before it is kind of like one big story with the last 3 songs. So it's kind of like part of a bigger epic piece.
Yeah, and I was reading the lyrics, and the song "A Question of Heaven," it was pretty apropos because like the entire song it seems to be questioning heaven.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to give the song an 8.0 for me, and we'll go with Nova. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Iced Earth. Particularly their stuff with the Matt Barlow era, which is like from 95 to about 2000. That whole era is just outstanding. they went through there's a lot of similarities between them and Megadeth, actually, because as you said, John Schaefer is kind of their driving force. It's basically a solo band for him because he writes like 90% of their material,
Yeah.
music and lyrics, a lot like Dave Mustaine does. And then they've also had a revolving lineup. Their first 3 albums featured 3 different singers.
Nice.
They had a different singer album until they got Matt Barlow. But yeah, this song, like I said earlier, it's part of a bigger epic piece. He has some big, long, epic pieces that he writes. On Burnt Offerings is kind of a heavier album. I think you might like that one. And there is a song called Dante's Inferno. It's long by itself.
Nice.
So this particular song is part of 2 other songs. So it's kind of one of those bigger epic pieces. The rest of the album's a little short. The song is a little shorter and trimmed down. And like you said, it's all about Spawn, which this was, I think, 96. So it was still when Spawn wasn't really all over the place.
I think you're right. It was 96.
Spawn really didn't become mainstream until the movie. Like,
right.
I had a couple of McFarlane toys before this came out, and then for like 6 months, half the shelves was covered in Spawn this, Spawn that.
Yeah, in fact, I seem to remember it was either my junior or senior year of high school when a buddy of mine named Dev had a copy of Spawn #1. So this must have been pretty close to when Spawn first came out.
Right. So it's kind of like how Hammerfall would write. They did a song about Game of Thrones way before the show ever came out.
Yes.
So before it became mainstream, people knew about it. That's when these guys were doing the Spawn stuff. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, I'm with you too. I give it about an 8. It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's a good solid song, and the whole album's great. So.
All right, Death Clock.
Oh, I mean, I like Matt Barlow. I really do. I think this was part of his like zenith in his vocal career.
Yeah, like I mean, his vocals aren't as good as like yours truly, but it's pretty good.
But anyway, in seriousness, God, I got to do 3 different opinions. This is great. It was a 7-minute long song, and now it makes more sense. There was a 3-parter. I thought it was a very classic acoustic sound, very almost southern rockish in a lot of ways. I felt that the guitar pairing was very Megadeth, very Metallica-esque, but I feel like the female sub-choruses weren't needed. Like, I could have lived with
at the end.
Yeah, the sub-choruses was not needed. The guitar work,
I think intentionally, artistically, that was supposed to be like a chorus of angels singing.
I think it's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was. But as far as looking at this from just the standpoint, if you were to like look at the song as the song without any other context around it, if it was to be looked at as a single piece, the guitar work obviously is the highlight of this title. I mean,
definitely.
You see nothing technical, but it's a very comfortable sound that we're all familiar with. It's very hard, true to the sound of metal, and of course. Unlike Nathan's disposition on Matt Barlow, this was most definitely probably the zenith of his career, and I enjoy the album.
Ranking?
Oh, definitely an 8.
Solid 8 from all 3 of us. Well done. All right.
If you want a good live album, their Alive in Athens is killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my wife has that because she's a huge Dice Earth fan. So
yeah, awesome.
Might have to check that out. All right, so moving on to our next song that we picked, and we had a little technical difficulty on this one because the band that I was talking about was not exactly like the most easily found band on YouTube.
No, it wasn't.
But it's not the emo punk band, right? We're talking about it's a thrash metal band from Chile. Jawbreaker, and it's their song Jawbreaker, and this is from a demo album from what I understand. And it's definitely instant I heard the vocals, I instantly thought of Rob Halford because it sounded a lot like Rob Halford.
Rob Halford.
Well, it sounded like someone trying to be.
Well, yeah, a tribute to Rob Halford.
If like Rob Halford,
I wouldn't call it a tribute, but yeah.
All right. And
Chile or Chile?
the lyrics were in Spanish, right? So I have no idea what the fuck they were even talking about. I mean, they could have been, for all I know, talking about the actual candy Jailbreakers. But I thought the solo was pretty good.
Oh
the,
yeah.
the one point, and when they showed little pictures of the band, I mean, they were just like classic thrash, decked out in like the spiked bracers and the chains, and even their logo was like classic thrashy looking logo. So yeah, I'm going to give
Priestley logo.
yeah, right. I'm going to give the Jawbreaker by Jawbreaker a 7.0. And we'll go ahead and go with Death Clock first for the rebuttal.
Dude, I love Judas Priest. You know, I love the fact that Judas Priest often enjoys Jawbreakers.
Yeah, like they also enjoy Goobers and Raisinets and Snickers and Three Musketeers.
And like they also like, you know, other Wonka candies like the Wonka Bear. I got a golden ticket and went to go see them. True story. But no, but in reality, I actually loved the fact that there's a decent tribute band out there. I mean, this reeks of Priest tribute to me. And like when I first heard it, you know, and then the Rob Halford in Spanish.
Yeah, it was like the Spanish Rob Halford.
Like totally. And like, you know, I thought it was great. And the solo was definitely had that same sound, had that same vibe. So I'm going to have to give it a higher ranking than TC give it. I'm going to have to give it a 7.5.
7.5. All right. Nova for the, I'm going to guess this is not going to be a good review rebuttal.
Ooh, no.
The music was great. I love the music. In fact, I have it written down on my notes. Music is cool. Solid guitar player. Player is excellent. My issue, they need a new singer. the openings from the opening scream, I was like, oh boy, here we go. And most of the verses were okay, but every time he tried to scream, it was horrible. Like I understand what he's trying to do, but he just can't physically do it. So
everybody can be Rob Halford.
If you can't do it, don't do it. You know, yeah, really bad screams. I'll give it a 6.
A 6. All right, so yeah,
Average is out at 7.
See, and here's the thing about Rob Halford. Now, while I am not a big fan of that style of singing, you definitely have to be physically capable of doing it to be able to do it. I mean, you just can't.
It is not easy to do that.
No, not at all.
If you ain't got the pipes to do it, don't.
Right. All right.
So he should. This guy should not be trying to sing that way. Just he can't do it. So the rest of his vocals were okay, but every time he tried to scream, it was just like a cat scratching his claws on chalkboard.
Wait a minute, cat.
All right. We're going a little bit fourth wall here. Okay, so the next song was from a band. Okay, and this band, I'll admit, I personally really love this band. I've loved Creator for a long time. They're amazing. I love them. I just would really, recommend them to anybody that likes heavy metal music. Creator is fucking an amazing band, and they're covering a song in this one from a band that I also like, Iron Maiden, and it's probably one of my favorite Maiden songs, "The Number of the Beast," right? And it's from their 13th studio album called "The Phantom Antichrist," and they're a German band, and they're from the town of Essen. I don't know if you call it a town, but huge industrial city of Essen. Anyway, it's from their 2012 release, Phantom Antichrist. And I'm going to go ahead and say this right now, and it's probably going to get me rash as shit, but I think, personally, it's an improvement on the original. I like the guitars better than the original Iron Maiden, and I'm going to give this a 9.
Wow.
So, yeah, right after that, I'm going to set that one up for some scorn for going to bat it over here to Nova.
I don't have a lot of scorn for this one because I really enjoyed the song. The music was outstanding. The singer was not bad. It's hard to emulate Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. It's hard to do that. He did a decent job. He didn't try to push himself beyond his boundaries. He stayed within what he was capable of. So I thought he did a good job with that. It didn't quite have the feel as the original to me as far as vocals go, but the music was outstanding. I will give it an 8.
Wow. Okay. All right. And Death Clock.
I love the percussions. The first thing that I noticed, and I'm being legit here, I'm not totally bad-mouthing this, is like whenever it went into the chorus, there was additional like halfbacks. Like he was totally doing like 400s there, and that's freaking amazing.
Yeah, and then like as Nova Storm said, he's like, yeah, totally didn't go past his boundaries. He's not like the greats or anything, but I thought he was really cool.
Hey, just one question there, Pickles. What you just said there, that has something to do with drums, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, just checking because I have no fucking idea. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. But I totally love the drum work. Like in the chorus, it was a personal take, and if Squeak Guy were here right now, he would totally be talking about the guitars. But since Squeak Guy's not here as an AKA, I'm not going to talk like him because they're not in the picture. There was added additional sweeps to the solo. There was actually a couple that I had noticed, and
that's what I noticed that too.
He bridged it really well. It was almost flawless. It was a personal take. It was a tribute to, Iron Maiden. And speaking of which, this is another fun tidbit. I just got out of the Louder Than Life in Louisville, like not even a week ago, and Maiden played there. So hearing this song again after hearing it live, it was a real treat. So, and not to mention, I'm also a big fan of Creator. Like, I love Creator. So, totally, I'm going to have to say 9. I agree with TC. It's a 9.
Nailed it. Oh, that one might be the highlight of the show, I'm thinking. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to a lesser-known band, and here's the thing about these bands, right? I just randomly picked shit, just like with randomly determined numbers. So don't get on my case about what the fuck is this band, right?
You rolled a D20, don't let it fool you.
Yeah, I rolled a D10, but yeah. So there you go.
totally killed it. Oh my god.
So yeah, I just picked a band with a basically alphabetical name and then rolled a D10 to randomly determine the song that we were going to use, right? So yeah, again, I can't have a whole fucking show of Black Sabbath, so fuck off. All right, so
Well,
this band's called Lava Engine, and they're a Swedish band that is now disbanded, and the song is called Home from their album In Bloom. And really the only thing I have wrote down here is that it had a very epic feel to it. And like the picture that they used on the YouTube video of the chick with like I don't know what, if her fucking nose was like mangled up or something, and she had like this Egyptian eyeliner, was very distracting to me.
She came with like one of her fans to get too close to the stage.
Yeah, that might have been what it was. They just had to like boot her with like some steel toes to get her back. Get back, and then they took a picture of it real quick because they felt bad for her. But I don't fucking know. Anyway, it was 6 minutes long, and I also think this song could have been done in about 3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this a 5.5. And we'll go with, I think we got to go to a Nova this time.
Oh, okay. I was largely unimpressed with the song. Nothing really stood out in it. They had a couple of cool riffs in between the vocals and the verses. But while he was singing, everything, it was such a staccato rhythm that it just kind of got boring and monotonous.
yeah.
And I found myself wanting him to stop singing and them just like cut out all the vocals and make it an instrumental. It probably would have been pretty cool because he actually has some decent riffs in between. But as a whole, I'll give it a 5. I did not really care for it.
All right. You know what kind of reminded me of like a male version of Lacuna Coil?
Yeah.
No.
Just throw that out there.
No.
Totally.
Look, Lacuna Coil is much better.
Yeah, I agree. But okay. So, but I mean, all right. That's what they're trying to do. But okay, let's go with Death Clock. What do you think?
I'm glad Murderface isn't here because he would be like, "Oh my God, can you hear the bass in this fucking song?" And then he would not shut up about it ever.
Dude, yeah, it's a very throaty guitar sound and very bassline-ish. I thought the lyrics were substandard and the lyricist even more so substandard.
Yeah, like we don't giving it a 5 is like, you know, giving it props. There's a reason why bands like this don't stick together, because they don't open for shows enough. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to give it a 4.
Yeah, 4.
All right, then. That song pretty much sucked in our opinion. Hey, it's going to happen. You're going to have some shitty apples in the pack, all right? So fuck off. All right. The next song is by another band, also from Sweden, and it's Meshuggah. And
Really good music.
yeah, and here's the thing about Meshuggah, right? You know, not everybody is a Meshuggah fan, and it's kind of, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if I'd call it an acquired taste, but they're definitely different. So, you know, it's not like a Pantera or a Metallica or, you know, Megadeth. I mean, it's definitely
what I like to call technical.
yeah, exactly. They're very, you know, to me they're like Catch-22 in heavy metal form.
Yeah, they're technical, yet they're progressive.
Right, exactly. So anyway, the song is called "Born in Dissonance," and it's from their 8th album, and it's called "The Violent Sleep of Reason." And I just wanted to quote somebody here from a band that I don't even really like, but Stephen Carpenter from the Deftones says, "Meshuggah are the quantum physics of music as far as I'm concerned."
Yeah.
That's an actual quote. And I don't like the Deftones. I've actually seen them in concert 3 times, not by choice, but as opening acts, right? But I thought that was pretty apropos a statement about it. And I don't know shit about guitars. I don't know shit about drums. But I can tell that whatever they're doing takes a shitload of talent, right? That's what they're doing. So I like the song a lot, and it's classic Meshuggah, and I'm going to give it a 8. So that's me, and we'll go ahead and go with Death Clock. Go.
Dude, again, as the drummer, I have to, you know, point out the fact that their freaking drumming is awesome. Like, seriously, he's got to be, you know, got to have, like, calves of steel for the halfback pedal. Has to. There's just no way. There's just no fucking way that a mortal man can do that, besides yours truly.
Yeah, when it comes right down to it, is like, you know, whatever. Like, I fucking love them. Like, and if you don't love them, then you're obviously not cool enough to be with the Cool Kids Club.
No, you're not allowed in the clubhouse.
No way.
In seriousness, no, I love Meshuggah. I've listened to them for many moons, and will listen to them for many moons more. It's kind of ironic that, you know, this song on your random chucking of Yonder D10 has coincided with the release of their new video for Clockwork. So, I'm totally stoked on them right now. Total solid fucking 9.
Nice. And I'm actually really interested to see what Nova's got to say about those. Go ahead.
I'm not included in the cool kids then.
Oh, shit.
No, don't get the frick out.
Every Meshuggah song I listen to, it's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea.
That's doable.
I don't know. The lyrics, I know they're from Sweden. I guess the video I was watching had the lyrics that would come up, and I guess they don't translate very well, because half of it didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is like there's a lot of that problem. Like, for instance, the German word for glove is Handschuh, literally in English. So I'm guessing a lot of that goes off.
Yeah. So I'm assuming a lot of it got lost in translation. The drumming is epic. I will agree with you on that. Outstanding drumming. The guitar work is good in some spots. In other spots, it's that djent thing that's popular now, where it seems every Meshuggah song I listen to follows and all these djent bands sound like Meshuggah, so they end up all sounding the same.
Wait. You're gonna have to clarify for those that don't know shit about guitar. What is djent?
Okay, djent is a term that originally came out to describe the sound that a guitar makes when you're making that heavy, muted sound, that jin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
type
sound that I
sound,
love.
okay?
Okay, go ahead.
So right,
Yeah, it's a great sound.
It originally meant that. Now it's evolved to describe a whole new genre of bands that sound like Meshuggah.
Gotcha.
So they all sound the same, and now I'm not saying Meshuggah does this, but a lot of these other djent bands, basically they get these 8 and 9 string guitars and they're tuned down like 12 steps lower than standard tuning, and they basically play their entire song on the first 2 frets, and then everything's
That was awesome guitar pantomiming.
Yeah,
so kind of like how Toki plays. I got you.
Yeah, and that's like all of their songs sound like that. So every time I hear that from a Meshuggah song, I instantly just tune out. The stuff in between that's really cool. Like you said, it gets a little more technical. I would be interested in listening to more of Meshuggah, but this song didn't jump out at me and blow me away or anything. I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5. Hey, let me ask you this: the Terminator theme, would that be a gent thing?
Actually, I think it's more of a synthetic sound.
Yeah,
no, but I mean, if it was a guitar.
If it was a guitar, if it was a guitar and sped up about 4 times faster, yes.
Because I think Austrian Death Machine did a guitar cover of it.
Do they
That's-
Death Machine?
That's the other part of the gent sound is you got to have constant double bass on your drums, and everything's got to be, about 1,000 miles an hour while you're doing the.
Okay. So you gave it a 7.5?
7.5. I would be willing to listen to more, but this one didn't blow me away or anything.
So
all right.
Clockwork when we're done here.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so the next band is Nailbomb, right? And of course, Nailbomb is Max Cavalera. Okay, right? It was they were formed in 1994 by Max Cavalera and Alex Newport, and I forget what other band he's in, but it's like one of the quintessential bands. But not Max, but Alex Newport. But Max Cavalera of Sepultura fame and Cavalera Conspiracy and like 12 other fucking bands that he does. I'm a huge fan of Max Cavalera. I love his song. I love his lyrics. I love, he's just one of my favorite heavy metal people that there is, right? And I love the Wasting Away the Wasting Away. That's the name of the song, is Wasting Away. And the album's called Point Blank, and it's their only studio album for Nailbomb, which is a shame.
Yeah, they really.
But it's funny that Novastorm was saying 1,000 miles an hour, because I actually have it wrote down here as one of my notes for this song that was played at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I really love this song, and I'm a huge fan of Nailbomb, so I'm going to give this a solid 8. And we'll go ahead and go with Deathclock. What do you think of Wasting Away by Nailbomb?
Okay, well, again, I love fucking Nailbomb. I've listened to them for years because, history. And this song, if it were to be summed up in one sentence,
it's a boot to the face, and that's
Agreed.
really fucking like it's really good bass lines. I hope Murderface doesn't hear me, but really good bass work, really good guitar work. It defines mosh metal. It's the kind of metal that makes you want to get up and fuck somebody up. Like, that's the kind of metal that Nailbomb is. Like, for real.
yeah, I fucking loved it. I'm going to give it a solid 8 too, for real.
All right, so here's the thing about Nailbomb is if any of you go to look it up, don't get fucking freaked out about the album cover, because it's not exactly like fucking unicorns. All right, so we'll go ahead and go with Nova. What do you think?
Well, if you're familiar with Sepultura, you should be familiar with some of the type of artwork that might be on there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, my notes, I only have one thing written down. Sepultura on speed.
Fucking
I liked it. I have, just to preface, I have nothing against going 1,000 miles an hour. I just, I like some changes here and there, and I like to hear some good riffs here and there. And
you like tempo changes, right?
Yeah, I like tempo changes, and I like riffs. I don't like just the same repetitive da-dun, 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 da-dun throughout every single song, but I digress. I liked it. I'm a fan of Sepultura. I'm a fan of Max, and if you like Sepultura and you want to hear Sepultura on speed, definitely check it out. 8.
Ready? 8?
8, yeah.
All right. 8 across the board. Well done.
H, motherfucker!
All right. All right, moving on to our next song. It is from OTEP, headed by the inexplicable OTEP Shemaya. The song was called Confrontation. OTEP is an LA band, Definitely not thrash era LA band because it's way different than that. They're no. That's one. A couple things I have wrote down here. I know Napalm's no longer with Victory Records, which Victory Records is a bunch of great bands. Now they're on Napalm Records. And if you ever listen to any OTEP, like probably at least half of her songs are pretty political, and this one is no exception.
No exception.
No exception at all. And
from what I understand too, she went pretty far left at a concert recently. Tyrant,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
She is definitely left wing. Which, hey, I'm not gonna like bring politics into their music. I personally, I love OTEP. I love their music. I don't necessarily agree with all the left wing stuff. I mean, I agree with a lot of their social stuff. Like, I don't give a shit what two consenting adults do in the privacy of their own bedroom. Who the fuck is my business? I don't care.
Right.
But when it gets down to like some of their other stuff, like maybe tax and spend might not be the answer to every single problem. But that being said, and not only that is like I was watching somebody rant the other day, and he nailed it on the head. I think when he said that metalheads tend to be libertarian very much because they tend to be independent-minded people, and they tend to just not really be conformist or like society-loving type people or group thinking type people. And I think that was pretty good ideology there, or good analysis of metalheads for the most part. Granted, there's going to be outliers. But anyway, this is from their third album, Ascension. I got way off track there. Fuck. Anyway, I give it a 7.5 because I love OTEP. And actually, her message in this, I think, was pretty good. And it reminds me of War Pigs, the song, in her message, because basically she was saying rich people make the war and poor people fight the war. And that, politicians hide themselves away. They only started the war. Why should they go out to die? They leave that all for the poor. It was pretty much, that could have been put into this song seamlessly.
Yep.
So I think I give 7.5. I liked it. And let's go with Deathclock.
If you've ever been to like an OTEP show live, which I have.
Yeah, me too.
She's fucking massive. Like, damn. Like, you look at her and you're like, God damn, she could totally kill me. Dude, like, totally. She could, like, punch you and your face would explode. Like, but she has that commanding stage presence, though.
Definitely.
Character for this, and that's what I fucking love about her. And, her message is also very great. I love that. And I have to agree. It reminded me very much of War Pigs. Same fucking thought process over here. And that, I just loved it. It was good riff work as always. Definitely the kind of song you want to get in the pit for. Definitely, the kind of song that, very stompy.
Right.
And that's what I like about OTEP's music. That's what I like about her sound. And, solid 8.
All right. So I thought the video was pretty good too. Like some of the symbology in it, like the the thing she had over her mouth, where it was like the media talking instead of her.
Yeah.
I was waiting for like a They Live reference. I really
right. Yeah. Definitely. All right. So let's go to Nova Storm. What do you think of it?
I liked it. I had a good rhythm to it. I liked the singer. I'm not too familiar with a lot of their work, but I liked the singer. I liked the way she approached the song and how she sang it. It was a fairly simple song structure. There wasn't a whole lot of changes, but that's not in a bad way. It was a catchy, made your head want to bob, kind of rhythm to it, and it's something you could just jam to. It doesn't have to be super technical all the time. So I'll give it a 7.5. I really enjoyed it.
All right, that's a pretty good score. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Prong, and I'm a big fan of Prong. I don't know if people know that, but I really fucking love Prong, and they're fucking awesome. Yeah. So I mean, their Cleansing album is probably got to be in my top 25 albums of all time. I really love Prong.
Oh,
you know what?
Yes.
If you know what, you can fight me because I fucking love Prong. I'm gonna say it. I'm on record.
I think your dice just fucking loves you. Like
it does. No. The song I picked.
I mean, we got the next one coming up, but we still only have one bad song so far.
Yeah. The Prong I picked because of the letter P, right?
Yeah.
And then the song that I picked, Cut and Dry.
Yes.
Are you still there? Did we lose him?
Hello, are you there?
I think we lost the host.
Hello. La 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 la. Play that back to me.
Check your mic.
Don't check your mate.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, why don't, while Thundercracker's having technical difficulties, why don't you start with your review?
Oh yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
I fucking love prong because, like, damn. It's the kind of music that you would play twisted metal to. That's the best way. That is the best way to describe prong. I mean, whenever I hear their music, I see terror in the streets. I see explosions. I see, just mayhem and madness. And, of course, great sexy solos all year round.
Oh, yeah.
Zenith of this particular piece, obviously, as is with a lot of their pieces, is sexy solos. I play prong. I play at least 5 or 6 prong songs at every one of my parties nightly, like every night that I have a party. Dude, there goes Thundercracker.
Uh-oh, he just left.
And then there were 2. I wonder if he's
Then there were...
back. Maybe we should just fill up some time here.
Yeah, let's check about hurricanes. Yeah, let's go with that.
Hurricanes, like Scrambles, the Death Dealer.
Or Hurricane Matthew, because it's a real hurricane. I could go on as these guys all day long. It's kind of sad, really. God.
All right.
I
guess it still says live. Are we still live?
To be
I don't know how that works.
Don't rightly know.
Through his... So I guess if people are still listening, bear with us. We're having some strange technical... Because I don't know if this is still being broadcast. It's on his channel.
Yeah, I wonder if they're if you're like a bag in the wind.
You're like a firecracker,
Firecracker?
Yeah, firecracker.
Yeah, totally. Taylor freaking Swift, man.
Yeah. Oh. She's like the most brutal fucking bitch out there.
Cannot believe you mentioned Taylor Swift.
I had to. The sound of a gun cocking. Yes.
Oh, man.
Now we just need a clip of Galvatron going that this is bad comedy.
Oh, very bad comedy.
Where the hell are you, Thundercracker?
I don't know. Where did he go?
Dude, he's like the epoxy that keeps us together.
Yeah, without him, we're just a bunch of random motherfuckers with nothing to do.
He's the glue that holds the things together.
Like glue.
Like glue.
like Gorilla Glue. I once took the Gorilla Glue challenge.
Dude, there's a thing that you can get called Gorilla Snot.
Oh no!
Hey, welcome back, motherfucker!
Hey, back.
Oh, what the frick happened, dude?
Were you guys still going on there while I was gone?
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Dude,
that was fucked up.
Don't mention the bad comedy joke. Wait for him.
Hey, fuckers.
He's gonna
Well, hopefully, the fact that you guys were still on meant that it stayed continuous.
We were just asking that too. We weren't sure if it was still broadcasting.
I think it was still broadcasting because as soon as I hit go to event, it just dropped me right back into it.
Well, freak you.
So I think it just ended the call for me, and it was an internet fuck up is what it was.
Because it still said live the whole time. And
okay, good. I think we're good then.
Just to finish what I was saying, the Gorilla Snot, it's something that you can use to hold your picks on when you're playing guitar.
No shit.
Yeah, and it's actually called Gorilla Snot. It's funny. Yeah,
that was bizarre for me. Coming right in the middle of that. So anyway, what I was gonna say is. First off, I thought that the solo in the album or the song "Cut and Dry" was awesome.
Yes.
The only thing I thought was that I didn't like about the song was the chorus. I thought it was a little bit kind of repetitive and crappy. But other than that, I thought it was a great song. I give it a 7.5. Did you guys already go over it?
He did.
Okay, we'll go ahead and go with Novastorm then.
I don't think he gave a rating.
7.5 on my end.
7.5. All right.
Okay. Yeah, like we were all saying, we're all big fans of Prong. The Cleansing album is outstanding. I can't emphasize that enough. In my notes here, I also have good solo written down. That was definitely the highlight of the song. It's pretty much standard Prong. If you know what Prong sounds like, then you have a pretty good idea what this song's going to sound like. Nothing new, nothing surprising. I'll give it a 7.5.
All right, across the board. Okay. The next band is, and again, random. The next band is a band called Quinta Essentia, and the song is called and you know what? Fucking hard to find a band that starts with Q. So the song is called "The Destiny of Pity is Destruction." They're from Huntsville, Alabama. They're a black/death/ thrash metal band.
Don't leave the death out, please.
Yeah, the band name literally means fifth essence, and it's like what the meaning of that is. It's pure and concentrated, and it had 5 fucking minutes of dead air at the end of it, right?
I know, right?
The song was 11 minutes long. What the fuck? Okay. The vocals were terrible, which I'm not a fan of black metal that much. It's probably one of my least favorite genres. That's pretty typical of black metal. Like if you pop in a Marduk CD, that's what they'll sound like.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of that at all, and I wasn't a fan of the music was okay, I guess I would call it. I mean, it's better than Linkin Park, but I wouldn't go out and like purposefully listen to it. So I'm gonna give them a 4.
Oh, yeah, you're giving them mercy.
All right, we'll go with Nova. What do you think of Quinta Essentia?
Okay, yeah, I noticed that too. I clicked on, it's like 11 minutes. I was like, oh no. And then, yeah, there's like 5 minutes of dead air at the end. I was like, what happened? All right, I'll just, without going into too much detail, I'll just read off the notes that I have right here. 3 minutes into the song, I had to check the time to see what it was because it felt like it had been 7 minutes already.
Never a good time for a song.
Yeah, and I saw that it was like an 11-minute song. So I'm like, oh my god, here we go. So luckily it did stop when it did because I couldn't have put up with much more of that. My other note was, it sounds like a song that you would use to summon demons and you would get a kobold.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good old regular kobold.
Yeah.
Hey, just a kobold story real quick. In one Dragon magazine that I had, they had this fold-out art, right? And on one side of the fold-out was all these kobolds, and they had like crowns on. They're like standing in piles of gold, and they all had like rings and magic items and like armor, and like they're they're sitting on like thrones and whatnot. And then on the other side, it was after the adventures, and they were all laying around dead with arrows stuck in them, and all their gold was gone. Their furniture was all broken up, and like the walls were all charred and shit. And like some of them were like burned to a crisp. It was fucking awesome. So just a little kobold story there. Anyway, what do you think about Quinta Essentia, their Death Clock?
Oh, I didn't give it a rating.
Sorry, go ahead.
3.
3.
Oh, God, that's merciful.
Oh, totally. Where to begin with this piece of shit? Oh my god. It's just black metal. It's typical fucking devil shit. It's look at me. I'm Anton LaVey. Suck my cat, Satan. God.
Like, I mean, seriously. I mean, we get it. Like, you'll love the devil. I love the devil. Like, he helped me with my taxes one year. I mean, but God, fucking damn it,
dude. Yeah, we're staying in character for this one because this is pure fucking garbage. Like. Seriously, it sounds just like Cradle. It sounds just like Demeuborg Gear. It sounds just like all that other garbage. Garbage.
Yeah, okay, I think it's time for a rating. You okay there, Pickles?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I just need to go lay down.
Yeah, he's gonna go lay down. We're giving this a motherfucking 1 because fuck a band who starts their name with Q. Fuck a band who has like a long-ass title for their song and an equally long-ass song full of garbage. Just fuck it.
All right, then. So we did not like that band or song. All right. The final song is from a band called Rigor Mortis. and the song is called Poltergeist. And today just happens to be the second anniversary of the release of that album. And the album's called Slaves to the Grave. The band was formed in 1983 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they're a gore thrash band. And just an interesting side note is the singer is also the singer for War Beast. And in my opinion, he sounds a bit like Dave Brockie. So
He did. That was one of my notes. He did kind of sound odorous.
Yeah. So there you go. Great minds, right? So there you go. I like the song, and it's fucking thrash. So I'm going to give this song an 8. And we'll go with Nova. What do you think of it?
My first note on here was fast.
Yeah.
It was definitely fast, but then it had that big change up where it just completely went into second gear all of a sudden. It's
the change in tempo that you wanted.
Yeah, I know. I was like, awesome, and the solo is really good too. The outro solo.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done overall. I'll give it a 7.5. It was really good.
Death Clock.
Well, Pickles is taking it down. So I guess it's just Nathan.
Nathan, then. Explode on it.
I love Rigor Mortis because I love moshing. They're very fucking riffy. It's one of the riffiest thrash metal bands out there. You listen to this music if you want to punch somebody in the face. You listen to this music if you want to have a good beer and then punch somebody in the face. So on and so forth. Usually ending with punching someone in the face.
No, I've been a big fan of Rigor Mortis for a long time. So, getting this on a list, especially coming back from that.
Quit that, Cincha!
Yeah, that black metal shit that's got Pickles in a small coma right now. Fuck that. But yeah, 7.5.
7.5. All right, so they did pretty good. All right, now comes the time in the show where we talk about stories of shows that we've been to. And yeah, so I want to go ahead and talk about a Hatebreed show, which is one of Nova's favorite bands. And the only reason I'm going to talk about it is because I'm going to go see them on Wednesday. And so anyway, I was at a Hatebreed show. They were on the second stage at a festival, and they were tearing it up as they normally do. And I turn around and I see this guy on the edge of the mosh pit, right? And he's got this horrified look on his face. His face is sheet white, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I thought he was high or something, or got a bad hit of acid or something like that. Anyway, I noticed he's got his hand on the side of his head, right? I'm like, what the fuck, right? So anyway, and then I also noticed that around him there were a bunch of people looking on the ground, okay? So then, a couple minutes later, the EMS got to the guy, and the EMS chick who was there, she pulled his hand away, and there was no ear.
Wow.
Just a hole and some blood, right? So that's my Hatebreed story. The guy lost his ear at the show. So, and I don't know if he ever found it or not, but I'm guessing with 2,000 people in that little secondary side stage stomping on it, I'm guessing maybe not.
Yeah, that ear is not going to be discernible from.
Yeah, it's probably mangled, fucking puppy shit.
Or a hot dog or.
Yeah. So anyway, metal story, hot link / Death Clock.
I'll be speaking out of character for this one because this one is straight to the heart. It was a Gwar show and it was from this year. I love to mosh. I'm no stranger to it. From most shows that I get up to the pit, that's what I do. I live for that. I love getting in the pit and getting somewhat violent. But there are levels of violence that happen in the pit, and particularly what happened in this Gwar show that happened in August at Legend Valley. Somebody had the bright idea of throwing a big thing of M90 firecrackers in the middle of the pit.
Nice.
And, of course, at this point, we're all sweaty. We're all banged the fuck up. And this shit goes off, and we immediately – I've never seen a pit clear. I've never in my life seen a pit clear.
ISIS attack, right?
A fucking ISIS attack. And this was happening right during Jägermonster. Blothar had ripped the damn thing's head off. We were getting drenched, and then that shit happened. And I was very, very pissed. I was like, I wanted to fight the motherfucker. Everybody did. We was looking for anybody who was snickering or laughing.
Mob justice.
Like throughout for like the rest of that song and like a good quarter of the set, our eyes were fucking screaming the mob. We were like, we're gonna find you. We're gonna kick your fucking teeth in. So like, yeah, that's my cherry story for the cherry show.
Yeah, here's the thing about fireworks and metal shows. They're cool separately, but don't fucking combine them, dude.
Throw them in, especially in the core of the assembly. God, no.
And especially at these modern days where crowds of people, bad shit happens. I mean, come on, don't be a dick. So anyway, Nova.
Wow, I don't think any of my stories can match those. That's insane. I guess I will go to my first big concert, which was my first like national act. I'd seen local bands before this.
ABBA?
Oh! It's not as bad as our joke.
Just joking, man. All right.
Look. Just because you enjoy your Nickelback shows.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Dude,
right.
no blue.
I'll be good.
Hey, Pickles.
Okay.
Back. You had to wake
all
up.
Right. No, my first national act concert, big concert, was Megadeth.
Sweet.
And it was still the at the time it was still the Rust in Peace lineup, but I think it was. I want to say it was a Countdown. It was after Countdown, but I can't remember if it was right before Euthanasia came out or right after Euthanasia came out. It was right around that time.
They still had Nick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick and Marty were both still there. So I want to say Korn opened for him along with two other bands. But I went with a couple of friends, and this was in New Orleans. And one of my friends, someone backed out, and he had an extra ticket. So we spent a good portion of the opening bands outside trying to sell the extra ticket. So while we're out there, unbeknownst to us, Marilyn Manson was in town recording.
Uh-oh.
And we spotted Twiggy outside the front, walking into the front doors. And my buddy spotted him, and he yelled, "Hey, that's the guy from Marilyn Manson!" And like Twiggy immediately stopped in his tracks, did like a double take back, and his eyes were like deer in the headlights, right? Like, oh my God, somebody spotted me. And he immediately bolted inside before I guess anybody could get to him or whatever. And
that would have been bad.
Yeah, so we thought that was funny. But then when we're actually in the concert too, we were like just outside the pit, and we looked up, and there's it's kind of like a theater where they were playing at. So they had the balcony, and then they had like the side balconies that were kind of the private balcony areas.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And up in the private balcony, we spotted Manson and Twiggy watching the show, and they were headbanging while we were headbanging. So that was kind of a cool experience.
Sweet. Yeah, they have a venue like that in Columbus too. It's the Newport.
Yeah.
So yeah,
this place eventually got shut down. I think it was condemned. And
fire marshal
probably so. And speaking of Manson, I'm going to do two just because I can.
Right.
At another show that I saw there was Marilyn Manson, and we were on the bottom level, but we were like right underneath the balcony level. And it was at the end of the show, and he was doing The Beautiful People, which was huge at the time. So they're doing it. Everybody's jumping up and down, and the whole place is getting into it. And I kind of glance up, and I see something moving, and I think it's just me, so I stop. But it did. The balcony was literally moving up and down.
That's not good.
Above us. And I was like, "Oh my, we're gonna die at a fucking Marilyn Manson concert."
Dang it, a concert! There's worse ways to go. Yeah,
right. Yeah, it was a great show. It was a great show, but then they got off the stage, and we're all waiting for the encore like they normally do, and he didn't come out. And I can only assume it was because of that, because that was actually pretty scary.
Didn't want people to die. Yeah, here's the thing about Manson, right? Is he's not my favorite artist, but he does put on one hell of a show.
Yeah. It was a great show, yeah. And I think this particular show, if I remember right, was when he had John 5 as his guitar player.
Yeah,
he's an amazing guitar player.
Fucking A, he is. All right. All right. So I think that wraps it up for the this edition of the first edition, the inaugural. Now that it's not fucked up, and hopefully my cutout there in the middle of it didn't fuck everything up. Because if it did, I'm just going to probably throw YouTube into the fucking sun. Anyway, it was fun, and I think that's it. So I'm going to say fucking horns up, Nova.
Absolutely, man. Metal.
Horns up.
All right. Death Clock.
Go.
All right, then. On that note, we're out. Have a good day.